undergo what the Gen Z is undergoing right now, so that we correct not only for Gen Z, but also for Gen Alpha and Gen Beta, because these are our kids and we have them. They are smart, so it's the opportunity to be able to correct as far as the whole narrative of Gen Z. What are Gen Zs asking, Madam Speaker? They've said we need action. That's what they're saying. Action for what? Action for some of the things colleagues have had, you mentioned, especially on the issue of Chapter 6, integrity issues, as far as how you conduct yourself as a leader. We've seen corruption taking place. We've seen whereby people are carrying money in sacks up and down. But I'm happy because we are accepting that that is not correct, that is not right. We've seen, yes, Harambee is taking place, because I can attest that most of the senators here, before end of week, they have already shared their Harambee cards for the different institutions. And we try our best to support, even if we are not attending some of them, we try to support. But if we are going to reduce that, then let us also reduce the issue of giving handouts, the issue of people lining up to be able to receive. I've listened to Gen Zs and they are saying, do you have to do a scandal to be famous so that you can be elected in politics? Why can't we just elect leaders who are able to articulate their issues and be able to show their competence, instead of how much person X has given you versus how much the other person has given you? We want to equate leadership with monetary value. Then we lose it. Let it be a win-win for both sides, such that we even scrap the issue of lining up to say, this is the handout that I've received from person X, so I'll vote for person X because they have given me more money. We also need to come out of that. Through cleaning these particular systems, we will be giving opportunities for any Kenyan from every corner of this country. Not because of the name that you hold, not because of the money that you have in your pocket, but because of the responsibility of leadership that you can be able to offer. Because that is what is needed, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I want to support the issue of the change or reshuffle for our cabinet secretaries. There has to be a change, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, in this country, we have a minister for youth and sports and culture. Gen Zs have been demonstrating from all corners of this country. Where is our minister for matters youth, for Christ's sake? Where have you been, for Christ's sake? No matter how hot it has been, you come and also sit with the president and give them that shoulder so that you can be able to listen to these issues. One day when I traveled to Dubai, I met one of the ministers who told me she's a minister for happiness. And I was surprised. What does a minister for? Do you make people happy? And she said, no. I evaluate the feedback that we get from the citizens on how happy they are or unhappy they are over the services that we offer as a government. And if they are unhappy, what are the issues so that they can be able to address? If they are happy, then they maintain and even better them. So in our case, in our scenario, on where youth have been able to come out, where was the Minister for Youth, for Christ's sake? Up to date, he has not spoken. He has not even said a word. And you want to sit back and say we are going to continue. Mr. President, this is our country. And because of the respect that we have for you, the best is to say it as it is. That you need a change. They say, if you keep on doing things the same way you've always done, then you'll always get the same results. It's until you change the way you do things then you get different results. And this is the time for the change. You took a stand and you refused to sign the bill, not because you are a coward, but because you are wise. And you looked at the fate of the 48 million Kenyans. That is wisdom, Mr. President. And because we still believe in you, and Kenyans still believe in you, they have hope and they have trust, because you requested, give me time. Let me jog my mind. We believe and we know that you'll do the necessary. It is for the betterment of us as a country. The issues of Harambes, I think that have been mentioned, and I've said, let us desist from that. Understand us now. Understand us. I've also seen, and I want to be part to the issue of the SRC. We cannot have revenue whose budget for wages and salaries is more than 35%, for Christ's sake. How do you gazette, go ahead and gazette, when we are where we are? I also am in line, refusing the additional 14,000. I don't need it. And I'm happy colleagues have also joined in the same. Divert those funds to be able to pay for the wages, the salaries, for the other people in the other institutions, especially JSS, for Christ's sake. Let budgets be cut to ensure that our JSS, we've seen, with, as I've said earlier, with what Gen Zs have been able to, how they've been able to come out, then our education system is working. Let us invest more in the education system. Let us empower the learning institutions and support them by doing the cut of budgets to be able to meet those deficits in place. Madam Speaker, last week? Yes, last week when the President was also doing his interview, I want to appreciate, because he confirmed and says the issues of caste, he agrees, and he's going to deal with that, because that is within his prerogative. Is able to make that decision. Further to that, even the budgets for the First Lady, of the Deputy President, First Lady of the Prime Cabinet, he said, he agreed and said, I will, scrap this off. Something which is positive. That is what is leadership. He has been able to take action on what is within his privy. But matters that they need constitutional amendment or referendum will need some time. What can be done within the shortest time, also let us appreciate. For me, I have one citizenship. This is my country. This is my motherland. And I want to urge every Kenyan, especially the young, that let's forge forward with solutions, and by ticking also the issues that have also been addressed. Then we also give a timeline to the other issues, and the other issues, as I've said, that require referendum, then we understand that they require referendum, and there's a procedure to it. What I request the agencies to do is to reject hooliganism, to reject looting, to reject your own parents being torn down when these hooligans and goons are stealing phones and monies from them, as we've been able to see yesterday. Here in Nairobi, people were being snatched their items. Post and in the same social platforms, let you reject. I also want to urge the issue that also, the picture that also Gen Zs have shown us in terms of not being being partyless, being tribeless, and indicating being one Kenya. It is good, it is positive. Let it not die, but let it be something that also takes care and moves to the other generations and generations to come, Madam Speaker. With those many and few remarks, Madam Speaker, I fully support. Thank you.
Senator Richard Onyonka.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I've been here since morning. I really appreciate being given this opportunity.
Senator